He's doing a killer job. I was gonna say killer and kick ass at the same time. Came out killer ass. I don't need to talk about Sam Rockwell's ass. What I do need to talk about is how good he was in this movie. Hello and welcome to another episode of Blockbuster Reviews. It is where I try to review a film while playing a single game of Chill Marathon, where I try to clear 150 lines or avoid the blocks getting to the top before I finish talking about the film. I never finish talking about the film. I could talk about the film past it, but this allows me to compartmentalize all of the crazy thoughts I have about the film into a small package. Small penis joke. Anyway, let's do it. Also, just a quick word of warning. A tentative rule is I don't do spoilers until I get to line 50. I get there pretty quick, so you might as well not watch if you don't want spoilers. Anyway, here we go. And you don't know the name of the film until we hit that 3, 2, 1. And we're hitting it. 3, 2, 1. JoJo Rabbit is one of the coolest movies I've ever seen. Now, I understand why a lot of people would be, suspicious, because it is about Nazis. It is a comedy that involves Nazis. But it does not make light of Nazism. In fact, I think it is a film that, well, I mean, I'm not the only person that thought this. I'm sure that there are much smarter people that have said this before. But it is a film that shows the horrors of war, the horrors of hate, and the idea of hate, institutionalized hate, through the eyes of a child. And a child who just wants to be the best he can in a world where the best he can, it happens to be a Nazi. He's also 10 years old, and his imaginary friend happens to be Hitler. His vision of Hitler. It's not Hitler himself. It is a bumbling, funny, charming, well, at least at the beginning. Don't want to get into spoilers. It's a version of Hitler that is palatable for a child. With that said, it's very, very funny. A lot lighter than it should be at the beginning, but it does get darker. It doesn't shy away from the horrors of the reality that is Nazi Germany, which is what I was a bit afraid it was going to do, and it didn't do that. It didn't pull the punches when it comes to how crazy and how horrible life in Nazi Germany was, and the terrible things they did, which is something I greatly appreciate. It stars, I don't know the names. I have the names up here. But this young actor who plays JoJo, he does a great job. I hope the kid gets tons of work, much like the guy in Room, whose names I don't remember, cannot remember their names. I'm sure I won't get an invite from them to their Oscar parties, but that's fine. This JoJo, it starts out with him going to, Hitler Youth Camp, where he's excited to become a man. And after being hazed for not wanting to murder a rabbit, he says, I'm going to take back the night by crashing this hand grenade session with Sam Rockwell, who's doing he's doing a killer job. I was going to say killer and kick ass at the same time. Came out killer ass. I don't need to talk about Sam Rockwell's ass. What I do need to talk about is how good he was in this movie. Playing a general of the Nazi party who screwed up something, so now he has to take care of these kids. But just by his attitude at this camp, he knows that the war is ending. JoJo Rabbit's mom, played by Scarlett Johansson, Rosie, she knows the war is ending. Any person other than JoJo, because he's naive, would know she's not cool with the Nazi party. She's working on the opposite sides of the Nazis. She doesn't appreciate what they're doing to the country. She's waiting for the war to end and for all the insanity to stop. But her son has drank the Kool-Aid of the Nazi party, and like a good mother, allows him to try and be the best he can, but tries to teach him compassion while the world is crazy. It's a great performance. It's also very touching, and it really struck me how great she was to this child, while the child is literally spouting hateful things that she finds repulsive. It's amazing because she sees that JoJo, and there's a great scene because, as you probably know from the trailer, JoJo finds out that his mother is hiding a Nazi in their house. Which, of course, Nazis find that to be bad. They're not cool with you hiding, you know, enemies of the state, which at the time happened to be people of Jewish descent, in your house. So he's now suspicious of his mother, and he's trying to get more information on this character that lives in his house because he knows that she knows that it's a standoff. There's great jokes that I'm not going to repeat here because the tone will be off and, you know, I'll be canceled before I even start. But it's great because even that character, the Jewish character, who learns about JoJo over time and becomes like a big sister character to him by the end of the movie, she says to him at one point, "You're not a Nazi, JoJo. You're a kid with a uniform that wants to be accepted by someone, that wants to be part of a group." And it's true because JoJo doesn't have that hatred inside of him. He wants to be the best Nazi he can be without hating his fellow man, which is amazing. It's such a great film because he's struggling now with also this imaginary character who pops in and says, like, "What are you doing? What are you doing with this Jewish character? How do you deal? How can you deal with this?" And spoiler alert, I mean, we're in spoiler territory. We've been there for several lines now. The end of the movie is him rejecting that Nazism. He literally says to Hitler, "Fuck off, Hitler," and kicks him out a window. It's amazing. It's a wonderful part of the movie, and it made the whole thing crescendo into this awesome scene about dancing. I won't spoil everything because I want you to go see it. It's touching, it's beautiful, it's wonderful, very colorful, but then it gets bleak when things in the town get bleak because JoJo, oh my gosh, he has this best friend, a character named Yorkie, completely sidetracking what I was talking about. Him and Yorkie are the best friendship on fucking film in such a long time, where they talk to each other like they're old business associates or old buddies, like old like racquetball buddies, where it's like, "JoJo, you wonderful piece of shit." Like, they're like that, but they're fucking 10. And they're so mature, but naive, and it's so adorable. Because at one point, because JoJo, the hand grenade incident, lays him up. He can't be a part of the Hitler Youth. He can't be drafted at fucking 11 and a half or 10 and a half because he has been hurt by this situation. But partway through the film, he sees Yorkie, his best bud, who's going to war. And it's like an honor because, you know, to serve in Hitler's army, like it's an honor to them. He's so stoked for Yorkie, and Yorkie's like, "Yeah, it's a pretty big deal." And then when he sees him again, Yorkie's even like, "Yeah, man, shit's bad. Like, I'm so glad to see you." I don't want to put words in his mouth, but like, the truth about Nazism and war hits JoJo hard. And there's like every war movie, every World War II movie has to have that Saving Private Ryan scene. If you don't know what it is, you'll know the second you see it in JoJo Rabbit when you watch it, based on this glowing recommendation. But it is just the moment he realizes a couple different things on a couple different times. But while he's in war and he's just watching all this death, and then he runs away scared, and you realize, like, he doesn't want to do this. He doesn't want to hurt other people. He doesn't want to be a part of this. He wants to just go home. He wants to be with his mom, which is tragically another reason this movie is sad. I will not spoil that, even though you can probably guess it through what I've just said. Apologies, but such a great movie. And as I get closer to the end, I just wish I could talk about it more. There's so many great jokes in it. The humor is next level funny. And like the way these characters interact with each other, and you realize as you're laughing at them, like, oh my gosh, these are Nazis. Like, I am laughing at Nazis. Sometimes laughing at them, sometimes laughing with them, or in many cases you're laughing at Scarlett Johansson, who's not a Nazi. She's very much against the war, against the whole thing, and it's just it's moving, it's uplifting, it makes you feel good and bad and great and sad, and it makes you feel everything, which is what I think we go to movies to do when times get rough. And I'm starting to realize as I do this game that maybe this is too easy, but now I have to stop talking about JoJo Rabbit soon, which is going to make me real sad, and that's it. So, thank you for watching, but thank you, Taika Waititi, and everybody who made JoJo Rabbit. The movie's fantastic. I'd give it an A. And I'm a certified expert, so you should listen to me, according to that achievement that I just got, and a jellyfish. Thanks. Have a good one. Bye.